Sonny says Kamala's loss proves America hates black women.
Don't tell me that this country is ready for a black woman.
Stephen A. says Michelle Obama could win easy.
There ain't a man out there, myself included, who can compete with Michelle Obama.
Michelle says America ain't ready for no woman president.
That's why I'm like, don't even look at me about running, because you all are lying. You're not ready for a woman. You are not. So don't waste my time.
So, who's telling the truth?
With Tim Black.
This is a country based on racism and slavery, and founded in it. There is systemic racism
and misogyny.
And there are people that I've never met anyone that raises their hand and says, I am racist. However, there are people that seem to be able to look
What'd she say? Nick Fuentes just entered the chat.
And founded in it. There is systemic racism
and
misogyny. And there are people that I've never met anyone that raises their hand and says, I am racist. However, there are people that seem to be able to look the other way when it comes to racism. So you have a president who traffics in misogyny, who traffics in xenophobia, who traffics in sexism.
And won.
He won. And won against a black woman. So don't tell me that this country is ready for a black woman. Don't tell me this country is ready for
let's
a
face
woman.
It, Hillary Clinton was one of the most qualified people.
She was qualified.
Can I finish this? Let me finish my sentence.
Well, I got interrupted.
She's qualified. She's more qualified than any man she's run against, in my opinion.
Correct.
And she lost to a reality talk show host.
Qualifications are not what decide the presidency. Right now should tell us that.
That's right.
There's a lot of factors that do. And she had years of... She was dragged down by her husband's baggage.
The Clinton
and the country
There's a reason why this country has only had one black male president. There's a reason
we will see another black man.
That little 8-year stint as first lady tends to confine, to be a bit confining, right? Because, that the job was not to just represent me, but to represent the nation. And as the first black family in that house, just like, black folks feel in all the first positions that we're we're carrying the torch, we're lighting the way, which means that we've got to do it really, really well.
Do you think that impacts the room that we've made for a woman to be president?
Well, as we saw in this past election, sadly, we ain't ready. That's why I'm like, don't even look at me about running, because you all are lying. You're not ready for a woman. You are not. So don't waste my time. We got a lot of growing up to do.
Does anybody doubt right now, as we sit here on this day, November 17th, 2025, that if Michelle Obama came out today and said, I'm going to be the Democratic nominee, I aspire to be the Democratic nominee for the presidency of the United States of America, who would beat her? It's going to be Josh Shapiro? It's going to be Gavin Newsom? It's going to be Governor Beshear in Kentucky? Who do the Democrats have that could compete with Michelle Obama? What do you mean the country isn't ready? The country isn't ready, so you'd lose to J.D. Vance? Really? Or you couldn't have a chance to beat Marco Rubio, who I think is the best candidate the Republicans have for the presidency? Because Trump ain't circumventing the 22nd Amendment and is going to be able to run for a third term. So if Michelle Obama is really, really serious about what she's saying, she's also arguably seriously false. Because I believe she'd cakewalk to the Democratic nomination. And I believe she could win it all. Do you want it? Can't knock you if you don't. You're the first lady. You had experiences at the White House that most wouldn't have. You would know better than most of us. But the bottom line is, if that's the case, then say so. Don't look at this country and point to men and act like we wouldn't vote for you. Yes, we would. Yes, we would. There's plenty of men that I know that will vote for Michelle Obama. And I can't imagine any Democrat who wouldn't. Class personified, educated, smart, excellent orator, The first man who would be the first man in American history also happens to be the former president who has a similar reputation by her side. Run, Michelle, run. Run.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah.
Tim Black's BS detector.
I'm detecting a lot of BS here. First of all, ladies in the View, you can't come talking to me about Hillary Clinton. Don't do it. Save yourselves. Your hypocrisy. Jesus Christ. She was so unlikable. Her mother wouldn't hold her when she was a baby. That's how unlikable she was. They kept her outside and kept the dog inside. Okay? That's how unlikable she is. Okay? She has a personality defect, and she had the unmitigated gall to be somebody who campaigned on some of the worst of Bill Clinton's policies that totally sucked with the base of the Democratic Party. There's a lot of reasons why she lost. Both times she ran up against people that were way more charismatic, interesting than she was. Both times. So this whole like, okay, I get it. You're saying women have a problem running. Well, yeah, give her what was Hillary running on again? I forget. Name what Hillary was running on. What was Hillary talking about? What was Hillary's big plan? What was Hillary Clinton campaign on? We all know what Trump's campaign was on. Trump campaign on deportation, ending wars, calling out the establishment, trying to shake up. Everybody thought he was going to be this guy that goes in and just cleans drain the swamp. So we all know things Trump ran on. What did Hillary run on? Quick. What'd she run on, Joy? Being a white woman. Being a woman. That was it. There was nothing else there. Folks, that's not enough. It never was enough. Kamala made the mistake of doing the same thing, and she is not white. Duh. How dumb can you be? It didn't work for the white lady to do that. You know it's not going to work for you. So this entire conversation, the entire notion, man, is just people who are too lazy to come up with a real argument. They have no real plus. And when it comes to, so they move over. Let's move over to Michelle Obama. I tried. I've been trying to find a way to like Michelle. I've been trying to find a way not to hammer her when she says dumb things. Yeah, because she's Michelle Obama, you know. I got women in my family. I don't want to do that, but I got no choice. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. I can't see you running for president because I know you'll run on nothing. You're not talking about shit now. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Things that black people care about, things that working class people care about, you don't talk about that shit. You have a platform, you can talk about anything you want, and you talk about trivial bullshit. You're vacuous. You're empty. You're an empty pantsuit. And you would run the same thing. You bring out Beyonce, it'd be a bunch of women parading around talking about how this is going to be groundbreaking, and you come out and you wouldn't talk about shit. And nobody would be, after you started talking and you went around and people got to know you, they realized you have brown skin and that's about it. That's it. That's all. The fact that you have to stoop to now like doing tabloid like shows for people to pay attention to you. Because I remember when your podcast started and no one gave a shit because you were very uninteresting. Michelle, you're not an interesting person. Mrs. Obama, First Lady Obama, Michelle Obama, you're not interesting. People are interesting because you're interesting only to people that are in awe of your position as First Lady, as first black First Lady. Other than that, not interesting. I can name 20 black women that are more interesting than you, that I would rather hear talk. And that's just it. That's it. You gotta be able to have the thing. Neither Hillary or Michelle have the thing. Why can't we tell the truth? There are women that have the thing. There are women that are interesting. There are women that can talk and mesmerize crowds. They do it for a living. There are a lot of women that have the ability to captivate audiences. Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton are not those people. And then on top of that, like, at least if you could talk, you could pretend that you had shit to say that people wanted to hear. But then on top of that, not running on substantial things that make lives better. Not selling people on ideas that are going to raise their standard of living, that's going to put more jobs, it's going to bring the jobs back. I mean, y'all forget, Trump did a whole heap of talking about bringing jobs back to the United States. He talked about the crime, how he was going to do the deportations, what it meant, how dangerous things were, our standing in the globe, and how it impacted us here, and all. He did a lot of talking about. A lot of it was bullshit. I'll be the first one to admit that, but he talked about it. Michelle Obama will be busy talking about feelings in her space. And now, former First Lady of the United States of America. What's she talking about? She said being a First Lady was confiding. So was being a working class black woman without money. That's pretty confiding. I know it's a lot of black women that would trade with you. Hell, I know it's a lot of white women that would trade with you. Being broke is confiding. It can find me. Get out. Come on, man. Come on. Really? That's it? That's it? That's what you got? The struggles of the 0.1%. Oh my God. I couldn't do whatever I wanted to do. No one can do whatever they want to do that's in the public eye. I saw a Netflix special of Eddie Murphy. He couldn't even go to the store with his child because it's Eddie Murphy. Said he went out, him and Steve Martin went to get a cup of coffee. He's like, where's security? Shit. Because it's confining. Welcome to being famous. But it sure beats shopping off the rack at Marshall's, doesn't it? It sure beats not knowing if the heat's going to stay on. It sure beats, an empty Christmas tree. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. All I'm saying, folks, is that how could you possibly, at this rate, there'll never be a woman president because they got these horrible role models of what that looks like and what that person must do. And if you guys are the blueprint for it, it'll never happen. Someone has to come and break the mold. Someone has to come along and break the mold and be an authentic, at least appear authentic, trend-setting, bold, interesting point of view, vision for the country, something. Trying to shame men into voting for you ain't gonna work. No, that's not gonna work. And the fact that anyone has to tell them that, and then they shame you not buying into that. It just shows you exactly what they would do as president. They would try to shame you. If she ran, they try to shame you. And last but not least, before I go, Stephen A. Smith, man, just shut up. Just stop talking. You're the flip-flop, flapjack, upside-down burger, inside-out sandwich, smash burger style, copycat, no ethics, no real stance on anything, Johnson. You just say anything. You thought Kamala was an empty suit and she didn't have shit to sell. Obama's the same thing. Michelle Obama's even worse. She feels totally like she ain't got to put together a campaign. She ain't trying to work, and she ain't trying to get on the level of understanding people's pain. It's all this philosophical, abstract bullshit. To me, she is as airy as Kamala. And that's fine. Not everybody should be a politician. Some people should be that way and just be, great parents and have a great business and be a great whatever she is and do that thing. Why does she have to be a politician? A lot of people shouldn't be politicians. I think it's a rare combination of skills and talents that make you adapt, or being a good option for that. Not everybody can do that. And that's okay. And that doesn't mean everybody's racist and everybody hates women. It's just not for everyone. And before I leave, Stephen A. Smith, man, at least pretend to have a backbone on some type of issues, Johnson. Donald Trump ran through a field of white men like they were twigs. He just ran through them. He ran through them like the bus. Like, he just ran through them like he ran through them like they weren't there, frankly. And from Jeb Bush to Lindsey Graham to Marco Rubio to Krispy, he ran through Krispy Kreme like Krispy Kreme was Krispy Kremes. He's ran through a bunch of white people, white men. He even ran through Ben. He ran through Ben. He ran through the pizza guy. Probably killed the pizza guy, didn't he? Godfather pizza dude. Because not everybody is equipped to be president. Look what he did to DeSantis. He ran through DeSantis. Nobody even knows who? DeSantis. So, look, not everybody should do this job. Not everybody should apply for the job of Democratic or Republican nominee. Just because the Democrats are, the reason why you could say Michelle would get the nomination is all these fucking lame ass Democrats would fall down for. All of them all of a sudden would pull a hamstring before they even start running. They all fall out. Oh, my leg. Oh, no. And they would all fall out. And she somehow win. And then she would get destroyed in the general election. She would get destroyed in the general because the Democrats cook their primaries. They cook them. They're fixed. Okay? That's what that is. But that doesn't mean you're good because you win a primary. Not a Democratic Party, it doesn't. Not in a Democratic Party. It means they wanted you. It means that people agreed. They made deals in the back rooms that you're that person. But that does not mean you're good. That doesn't mean you'll win the general, and none of that. So to make that claim is not saying a whole lot, Stephen A. You need to call up Cuomo, who gives you all your other political advice, and do some further discussion on the matter, because this line of talking is bullshit. She could have beat Kamala, but then it'd have been the word salad debate of the century. They'd have talked for 2 hours and nothing would have been addressed. Most dangerous. Stay dangerous. Stay dangerous.